I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. At Wednesday's Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, Senator Cory Booker showed his support for Biden's ATF director nominee, Steven Dettelbach. Booker highlighted the challenges facing the Bureau, which he claims Republicans have been happy to defund. Booker pleaded with his colleagues across the aisle, saying, quote, "We yet again are sacrificing our children on the altar of inaction, and it hurts." Here's more from the New Jersey Democrat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say to all the three people at the panel, I want to thank you for being here. Your bios are extraordinary. You are true patriots. Your commitment to your country and your willingness to serve is something that is both humbling to me and very inspiring. I want to thank your families that are here too. This is not an easy path that you have chosen, and you do not do it alone, as you said in your introductory remarks. And I want to thank them for their commitment to country and their willingness to support you in this path. I will be supporting all three of you happily, maybe even gleefully, on the floor of the United States Senate. I look forward to taking that vote. I want to, as most people have, you all are very fortunate that you are sitting next to a man trying to be the head of the ATF, which hasn't had a head of it for years. I want to say to Mr. Dettelbach, I'm looking forward to supporting you as well. And there's a lot being said about you. And I just find it astonishing to look at the law enforcement list that my colleague just read off of the incredible folks that are behind you. It really says that should rest your case right now. But I'm also aware of the fact that even Donald Trump couldn't get his nominee to the ATF confirmed, not because he didn't have law enforcement support. He was the former head of the FOP, our largest police union, or at least a leader there. But it was, again, the power of these lobbies that do not represent the majority of gun owners' positions on issues revolving around guns. I know the kind of leader you'll be. I have such great confidence in you. And I simply want to just, in the little bit of time that I have, though, drill down on a frustration I've had, as Senator Whitehouse talked about. Both of us come from the world where we were very focused on local law enforcement. And I remember my first trip down to Washington as a mayor of New Jersey's largest city, talking to one of the leaders of the ATF and being stunned at this candor with me about how much this body, Congress, has handcuffed the ATF to actually just enforce the laws that we have. I was really stunned when he started going through chapter and verse, all the riders that have been put into big legislation, all the things that have been done to their budget, all the outrageous loopholes that prevent the ATF from using modern policing. You are the one agency, I hope you will be the head of the one agency, that Republicans, in effect, are happy to defund. The ATF has not kept up with the other law enforcement federal agencies in funding. If you look at the budget of the ATF, it's been stagnant over the last 10 years. The budgets of other federal law enforcement agencies have increased dramatically in comparison. For example, from 2005 to 2014, the FBI's budget up 62%, Customs and Borders budget 46%, 94%, Customs and Border Protection. It goes on and on and on. And the increase of your budget has barely kept up with inflation. The manpower shortages at the ATF are stunning to me. You and I both know, because we've been in this world, that these straw purchases, which I've heard from some of my colleagues, source a significant amount of the illegal weapons that end up in the hands of people that shouldn't buy these weapons. But the ATF has fewer employees. It had fewer employees in 2017 than it did in 2002 to enforce these laws. The ATF literally has fewer special agents than the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police has sworn officers. They have 760 ATF investigators who are responsible for 130,000 federal firearm licensees. That ATF leader that I first met when I was mayor told me we were asked to do our job with both hands tied behind our backs and our feet in leg irons. And so all of this talk about the legislation that we're proposing, common sense, bipartisan legislation, you rightfully say that's what Congress is all almost obscuring the fact that we have an agency that has the power to protect Americans, and we're not funding it, we're not supporting it, and we have done outrageous things to it, like not allow it to use computers. I'm going to submit this to the record, that we literally have this insanity that when there's a going out of business gun retailer, first of all, there's what's called the fire sale loophole, Mr. Chairman. I know you know this, that they have to do background checks when they sell their gun, but if they're going out of business, they can dump their inventory on people without doing background checks. And then when the ATF tries to keep records of this, they have to keep them all on paper. And it gets so bad at the ATF that every time they get new agencies going, they literally have to put them into shipping containers outside because the floor of the building would buckle. It is so ridiculous what my Republican colleagues have done over the years to undermine law enforcement from protecting communities. And so, sir, I just want you to know, God bless you for stepping up to lead an agency that hasn't had a head for the longest time, that Donald Trump couldn't even get ahead because a very corporate, industrial-driven lobby is dictating policy here more than the good conscience of folks. But I hope when you come for your first oversight hearing, because we're going to get you confirmed, I'm going to work like crazy to make sure that happens. I just hope that you will look Congress in the eye and tell them, like I was told as a young mayor, that you don't have the resources to enforce the laws of the United States of America, that you don't have the personnel to adequately enforce the laws of the United States of America, that you don't have the computer equipment, that there are riders that have been put in that undermine your ability to get the job, that there's technology out there that can make us safer that you're not allowed to use. This is a shameful charade. This is despicable that the same people that try to accuse us wrongfully of defunding the police have taken one of the most important law enforcement agencies to protect Americans, to protect our children, our churches, our mosques, our synagogues, our parks, our supermarkets, is not allowed to do their job. And we yet again are sacrificing our children on the altar of inaction. And it hurts. And you know where I live. I've lost kids I know. I see shrines on streets. And when my law enforcement wants to do the job, as you're right, in partnership with the ATF, there is barrier after barrier put up by Congress. And so, dear God, bless you and your family for leading an agency where you're going to be attacked every single day when you just try to enforce the laws that are on the books. You're going to be vilified and cursed. I see it happening right now, people trying to block your nomination. But I just simply say to you, sir, God bless you, because you're doing righteous work. And I have faith that you will protect citizens. But the shame is not on you or your agency and the proud officers, law enforcement officers who dedicate themselves to our safety. The shame is on this body for what we're not doing to support you. May God bless this country. May we confirm you. And may we somehow end this national nightmare that every day 100 Americans are dying by gun violence.
Thank you, Senator Booker. Senator Padilla.